Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will enter the world crafted in Windhaven by George R.R. Martin. Windhaven is a collaborative science fiction and fantasy novel by George R.R. Martin and Lisa Tuttle, first published in 1981. Set on an ocean-covered planet with scattered islands, it explores a society where metal wings allow a select few to fly and maintain communication across the windswept world. The novel delves into themes of tradition, ambition, and societal change through the life of Maris, a girl from humble beginnings who yearns to soar the skies. Plot summary. The storm raged as Maris, a young girl, lay in her modest home, listening to the rain batter the fragile walls. Her mother, ever practical, woke her early, and together they scoured the beach for debris left by the tempest. Maris' world was one of storms and seas, a world where life clung to scattered islands. Yet, amidst the hardships of her humble life, her gaze was ever upward, toward the silver-winged flyers who soared through the skies. The flyers were the lifeblood of the islands, connecting distant lands with messages and goods. Their wings, crafted from ancient starsail material, were precious and passed down within families, an inheritance rigidly bound by tradition. Maris' fascination with them began as a child, watching their grace from the cliffs near her home. Her dreams of flight seemed as distant as the stars until Russ, a retired flyer, adopted her and offered her the unimaginable: wings. Under Russ's tutelage, Maris became an exceptional flyer, mastering the winds with instinctive ease. Her joy knew no bounds as she joined the ranks of those she had once only admired from afar. But tradition hung like a shadow over her happiness. Russ's biological son, Call, was destined to inherit the wings, despite his lack of enthusiasm for flying. The wings would pass to him when he came of age, as was the unyielding law of their world. Years passed, and Maris' bond with the skies deepened. She reveled in the freedom flight offered, even as the day of Call's inheritance loomed. Call, gentle and introspective, preferred singing to flying. His songs brought stories of the skies to life, touching the hearts of listeners in ways few could. Yet, his love for music made the prospect of taking up the wings a source of dread. Maris and Call were caught in a silent struggle, each bound by expectations they could not escape. When the fateful day arrived, Maris' wings were stripped from her, given to Call as tradition dictated. Maris felt an unbearable loss, as if part of her soul had been torn away. Call, sensing his sister's pain and knowing he could not fill her place in the sky, was racked with guilt. Yet, the wings bound him to his father's legacy, and neither sibling dared to defy the immutable laws of their society. Unable to reconcile her longing for flight with her new earthbound existence, Maris began to question the traditions that governed their lives. She saw the unfairness of a system that valued bloodlines over ability, one that silenced passion in favor of duty. The flyers were revered, yet their numbers dwindled as the rigid inheritance laws left wings in the hands of the unwilling or unskilled. She could not ignore the growing feeling that the world needed change. Maris' defiance began quietly. At a gathering of flyers and land-bound villagers, she raised her voice against the tradition of inheritance, proposing that wings be granted to those who earned them rather than simply those born to them. Her words rippled through the crowd, sparking heated debate. Some dismissed her as a dreamer. Others, including Call, were emboldened by her vision. Yet, the landsmen and elder flyers, protectors of the old ways, stood firm in their opposition. Her rebellion escalated when she refused to yield to the landsmen's demands for silence. She gathered allies among the younger flyers and the discontented landbound. Call, though hesitant, supported her, using his songs to spread her message. As their movement gained momentum, Maris became a symbol of hope for those yearning for change. The struggle came to a head when Maris openly defied the law by taking wings from a disused set, long left to decay, and soaring into the skies once more. The act was both a declaration of her resolve and a challenge to the existing order. Her flight was breathtaking, a masterful dance with the wind that left even her detractors in awe. Yet, it was also dangerous. Flyers who broke the law risked exile or worse. Maris knew the cost but accepted it, for she believed her cause was worth any sacrifice. Her flight rallied her supporters, who demanded a council of flyers and landsmen to decide the future of inheritance. The meeting was tense, a clash of tradition and innovation. Maris spoke with passion, arguing that the skies belonged to those who loved and understood them, not merely those born into privilege. Her words resonated, particularly with those who had long harbored doubts about the old ways. The council's decision was not swift, nor was it unanimous. Yet in the end, the tide of change proved unstoppable. A new system was proposed, allowing wings to be earned through trials and training, ensuring that only the most skilled and dedicated would fly. Mari's victory was bittersweet, for though she had reclaimed her place in the sky, she knew the battle for change was far from over. The rigid traditions of Windhaven would not crumble overnight. As Mari soared once more, she felt both exhilaration and a deep sense of responsibility. The skies were no longer a refuge, they were a battlefield for progress. Yet, as the wind carried her across the endless ocean, she knew she had found her purpose. She would fight not only for her right to fly, but for a world where dreams and talent could triumph over the chains of tradition. Her wings gleamed in the fading light as she banked toward the horizon, a figure of defiance and hope against the vast, storm-filled skies. That's it for now, but don't stop here. George R.R. Martin has more stories waiting for you. Check them out in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in George R.R. Martin's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.